Hey friends, happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on the live this evening, or you hop on the live at a later date, say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. I happen to be in central Kansas, and it feels like fall here. So let me know where you're at and let me know what your temps are. Also want to let you know that I'm live in 2 locations this evening. So if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person may be watching from a different platform. And at any time during the video you like what you see, please feel free to give me some thumbs up or some hearts, follow, subscribe, whatever your platform wants you to do. That just helps me be seen in the algorithm and helps me be seen by new people. And as always, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. So let me just go over here and look at the comments. Jason is watching from the other side of the door, and he says, woohoo, for fall weather. And if you happen to be of the praying nature, please pray for the people that are in the path of Hurricane Helene. She sounds like she's going to be a beast, and it can get pretty bad. So please pray for the people in the path of that hurricane and possible tornadoes that break out because of the hurricane. So they could use all the prayers we have. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so we can go ahead and get started. So tonight we are using the pumpkin pie Club Couture transfer. This is an exclusive 8.5 by 11 size B transfer. The only way that you are able to get this is to be a Club Couture subscriber or a designer that is also a Club Couture subscriber. This month it comes with this apron, and let me go ahead and show you the graphic. It comes with this transfer, and it also comes with a navy blue half apron. So it's kind of like those waitress aprons. And then it also comes with a packet of shimmer gold ink. So we've already done a few projects. So you can see that project right there is an inked towel that we did with that transfer. And then, I can show you, we also did the cookbook stand, which I still need to fix, and this cookbook stand is still available. So, we were able to do a portion of the cookbook stand. I had to cut off a little bit of the top and a little bit of the bottom, but it looks super cute on the cookbook stand. But tonight, we're going to go ahead and do it on this decorative cutting board. So I'm going to put all that other stuff away. So I have this cutting board. We did the ice cream on the other side earlier this summer. And so tonight I'm going to make it two-sided. So I'm just going to grab some tape. And then we're going to color block this, which means I'm going to paint the lower half a different color. That's totally not even. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Hello, Miss Bonita. She says hello, Jason and Robin. Good evening. I still don't think that's. I'm going to take the transfer off of the backer sheet. I'm going to use it as kind of my measure. Jason says hello back. So I'm going to stick this at the bottom because I'm too lazy to get out a ruler. I'm just going to, that doesn't stick. Let's flip it over. I kind of forgot if a transfer doesn't stick to that side, neither will tape. So I'm going to use the top side of my carrier sheet as my general line. So there we go. So I'm going to stick that back on there for a little bit. So there is my line. Put my tape away. So we're going to water down a little bit of paste. We're going to paint with that. So I'm going to get out a little bit of distilled water, and I'm just going to spray it in my lid, and I'm going to get my paintbrush wet, and then I'm just going to dip it in my paste. I might also spray a little bit in there. So you can paint with the chopped paste, and then you don't have to worry about buying any additional paint. And it dries super fast. It pretty much dries super smooth. Oops. I'm just going to use this little bowl here. There we go. And I'm just going to paint the bottom half of this board. This is going to be kind of a one and done. Going to be pretty simple on the colors. We'll add a little fabric bow or tassel, probably. This would also be a great project for the crackle or the textures, sea spray texture additive. Jason says that's dark. It's just our black velvet. We're going to go dark black velvet against just the natural pine. And then we're going to use vanilla, the new In Vogue vanilla chalk paste. Kind of very neutral. I may have to go back and do a small second coat just because I used more water. So there are a few places that are a little lighter than they look more like a stain than it does a kind of a paint wash. But that's drying. But let's go ahead and dry it a little bit on our own. While it's drying, I want to show you a few specials in case you haven't seen them posted. So for perk members and designers, when you spend $50 between the 23rd and the 27th, you qualify for $5 flat rate shipping. Again, that's for perk members and designers only. So yet again, it pays to be a perks member. And if you join the perks program this month, you also get a coupon code for this etched pine tree and star bundle. So that's a $20+ value for free. So to join the perks member program, it's $20 a month, but you get $20 in this 20 design dollars back instantly once your subscription goes through. So between your design dollars and your etched pine tree and star bundle, you are up by $20. So craft math, it's free plus some. Everybody loves craft math. And then between the 23rd and the 27th, while supplies last, and this bundle is getting low, with any $50 purchase, you can get this Jolly Snowman bundle for free. But it's also, again, for Prime members and designers only. So it's probably also a $20 value. So now you're up $40 with your on your original $20 monthly subscription. Hope that makes sense. So there is our board dried. I am going to give it a wee bit of a sanding because I used a lot of water, so it lifted up a lot of my wood fibers. So I'm just going to take it off of my table for now and sand it to the side. And then I'm going to, it just got really rough and bumpy. I think I added too much water to my paste. Now, wipe some of that dust off of this. Okay, let's go back to my comments. So if anybody has any questions about the Perks member program, just holler at me. I'll answer them for you. It's a great program. Plus, not only do you get all the free products, but you get to shop at 30% off all of the time. So gift giving season is upon us. So it would be a great way to get your gifts at a 30% discount, especially for those creatives in your life. Or if you just want it, if you get your own Christmas gifts, it would be a great way to pad your own stocking. Hint, hint. Just saying, it pays to join the Perks program. And as a Perks member, if you do join the club, it's at I believe that's at the 30% discount. So if you're already a club member and you're wanting to join, I believe it will reduce the cost of your club membership as well. Okay, get this on there. This is probably one of those things I should have had done ahead of time, but it's also fun to let people, especially people that are new to Couture, let them know that you don't have to go out and buy separate paint. You can use your chalk paste as a base color with just a little bit of distilled water. Okay. Not my best paint job, but it'll do. See, and I taped to protect my, oh geez, I'm making it worse. Well, I may just have to stain up there. Actually, I could probably, well, that's dry. I'm going to try to sand this off. I boo-booed. I have to get my smaller sander. Sorry, you're going to see my head. Okay, let's put this away because we're done with it. Get that cleaned off. Put that up there for safekeeping. I'm going to try to sand off where I went over. I may not be able to. I'll have to fix that part later. Okay, let's give that a good dry. I got to get out of the habit of doing this. It doesn't do any good. I need to just keep moving it like this. Hey, Miss Amanda. We are going to be working with our Club Couture transfer for the month. Whew. Wood smells like I'm doing some wood burning down here. I think I might switch to my other dryer. Amanda says Oliver is pretty excited I showed him at my craft room. Well, at least he's got some context now. Can't believe I showed people my dirty, disastrous craft room. It's a mess. I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I have any 2000 grit sandpaper or some 220. Either one. I do have some 220. Still a little rough. I'm going to try this one for now. Oops. And then, okay. I just want to get some of the rougher parts sanded smoother. I know it kind of jacks with my paint job, but it would have been worse with my transfer. And then I'm going to try to clean this top part up where I totally overpainted. I may not. I may just have to stain it. And then I tried to clean up my overpainting and got paint everywhere. Yeah, I'm probably just going to have to stain it. Oh, geez. See? I'm just making it worse. Throw those out. They're just making more of a mess. Okay, let's get started. I'm also going to sand my edges before I get too far. Then I won't mess up my design. And it pays to get your nails done because I always get my nail file when I'm done. So I have quite the stash of gently used nail files. So there's that. And they're great for edge work. Okay. Okay, so let's remove the tape. Now I'm gonna have now I have a suntan line. Oh. Let's see if I can get all that off. No, I'm not sanding in the right direction, but I'll have to fix all that later. I'll get it off. Okay, so now let's wax. So you can use the surface wax, but I just like to use my finishing wax. It's tried and true. It's been with me from the beginning. Hey, Miss Kim, how are you? Are you busy with fall door hangers? You've probably moved on to Christmas. Okay, so I'm just going to add some wax just to protect that chalk painted surface. So this is just going to act as a protective barrier between my cutting board surface and my transfer, so that my transfer doesn't stick so hard that it either pulls up my paste or other wood fibers, and it also protects the transfer from getting so stuck that it either stretches or maybe even possibly tears when I'm removing it. So now I'm just going to flip my wax applicator over and just kind of buff all that in. Get it a nice smooth layer. Kim says she's good. I'm good. She says she's been busy prepping for her show in October. Where's your show in October? And she says my hubby has jokes. Yes, my cutting board has a farmer's tan because I got black paint where I shouldn't have. And then I tried to wipe it off and I made it worse. Okay. Okay, now I think we're ready. Again, this is just going to be kind of quick, hopefully. Of course, I say that and it's going to be another hour. I'm going to get out my fuzz cloth. Which one has the least amount of lint? I've been doing some sanding in here, and all the fabric tassels that I make, that I end up with strings on the back side of all my transfers. So I just used the fuzz cloth to knock back a little bit of the adhesive on the back side so that it doesn't stick as much. And that'll all come off when we wash the transfer. I'm just going to tilt this just a skosh. Your show's in Oklahoma City. That's a little closer. Well, Jason, we should just go visit your cousin Kelly, and then we can go see Kim on the way. We used to go to OKC for New Year's Eve-ish with his cousin. But we need to get there more often. She says, come see me. I would love to. Okay, so you'll notice I have some tape here. When I used this the first time, I had taped, and this was for the cookbook stand, I had taped it and I peeled the tape off too hard, and it actually peeled up some of the green part of the transfer, which exposed the screen underneath it. So So I just have little bits of tape there. I'm going to try to fix it with some nail polish because this tape is going to come off when I wash it. So be careful even when you're adding placement tape. These newer transfers do not like this kind of tape. And this one didn't even like the placement tape. So be very careful if you're using your tape as a mask, because it may tear off part of the green, and then that exposes, it doesn't put a hole in it, but it exposes the mesh that's there. Kim says it's the 18th to the 20th. I've heard good things about that Affair of the Heart. We have some friends that lived in Shawnee for a while, and they always talked about going to an Affair of the Heart. She says it's in Oklahoma City Fairgrounds, and there is 4 buildings full of vendors. Yeah, that's what our friends always said. Well, good luck with that. That would be a fun show to go to just as a shopper. So like I said earlier, we're going to be using just the vanilla paste, kind of a one and done kind of color. So I'm just going to use what's considered the small squeegee, even though it is a big squeegee. And if you wanted to, you could even use the angled squeegee, which let's just go ahead. Let's just add a bunch. If you want to move a lot of paste in a quick amount of time, you can, except for it's kind of big and clunky. So you have to be careful on the edges, which I got a little carried away. Just about messed up there, because I'm like a bull in a china closet. But it moves a lot of paste in a very quick amount of time. So if you're doing like a large 18 by 24 surface in primarily just one color, this is the squeegee you need to have. I'm just concentrating on these edges, so nobody breathe. Okay, I think I've got most of it. So now I just want to go back and get most of my squeegee lines gone, because those will dry in your design. Make sure I hit all the spots. I can put any excess back in my jar. And then we need to get it pulled up. And you don't want to linger, because it will start to dry in your silk screen. Ta-da! Okay. I just heard myself out on Jason's computer. Sounded like a dork. Okay, let's get this dry. Yes, you do, Miss Kim. You need to get your old transfers and make something. And I just lost my mouse. If you don't have any paste, hold on, I gotta get my mouse, and I was gonna get something for Kim. My computer mouse fell in the trash. Oh boy, I have all sorts of things open now. If you don't have any paste, but I know you probably have a ton of either latex or acrylic paint, you can get some of this Coco's chalky powder and add it to your acrylic paint. It will kind of thicken it up a bit to make it more paste-like. You could also try, Hobby Lobby carries their brand of Artist's acrylic paint, and they have a line of paints called Thick Body acrylic paint, and it is thicker than even just regular art acrylic, so it won't run. So that might be something you could try. If you do use a paint-based paste, though, you need to make sure that you clean your transfers pretty quickly after you use them, because all that paint is plastic-based, and so it will dry. It may dry in your silk screen, and you run the risk of it not coming out. But it's a great way to use up your paint stash. This one or this one? The teal one or the white one? I got it. It's on it's a Couture quick dry tool. So it has two settings. It has low and it has high. And it gets warm, but it doesn't it doesn't melt your face off like the heat embossing tool does. It does get a little warm, but I can put the link in the comments. Let me pull it up real quick. I don't think I added it to the cart link in the description, but I can certainly pull it for you. I try not to load the cart link up with all the expensive tools, but okay, it doesn't have a very long cord, although I think the newer ones that they're manufacturing have a longer cord. Let me just post it up here in the comments. There you go. Oops, I think that did that on YouTube for some reason. Or did it? Tell me if that did that on Facebook. Oh, there it went. It's just a little slower. So there's the link. No, it's not cordless. And this one has like a 3-foot cord on it. I don't have that. I bought it's not very effective, but I don't even think it might be in my vendor stuff. I have a little handheld fan. It's on a wand that I bought. It's battery operated, and I bought it because I saw that there was a DIY paint studio that was using them to dry their projects. So I bought that. It's not very powerful though. Do you think it would work good on drying? It does. It's what I used for my chalk paste, and I do use it when I dry, like, when I use chalk paint. It's just a little slower just because this or a regular hair dryer has a little bit more air output. Benita, do you like yours for using? Do you have one of these? I know you have the Ranger heat tool. Do you use a quick dry tool at all? Kim says she uses a hair dryer. That you can't keep it close by. I also have this one for like larger paint areas when I just don't want to wait for the quick dry tool to dry everything. But I know Benita has this is actually the Ranger heat tool, but it's, oh my gosh, it is like the 1980s edition. And it gets hot, it'll melt your face off, and it will melt transfers if you don't let your surface cool down enough. Ask me how I know. Okay, let me put this away and then we'll work on the finishing touches. So I just pulled out some fabrics. Again, I'm going pretty neutral. It is the 1980s version. It could be 90s, but I know it's probably older than my son. Oops. Okay. So I just pulled out like a gray arrow. Benita says she uses her quick dry tool when she's using it with her transfers. The Ranger heat tool might melt them, and there's no might about it. They will melt your transfers, especially if you don't let your surface come down to room temperature. Kim says it's almost as old as you. It is forever old. So I'm just going to make some fabric strips. It's kind of my favorite. I've kind of given up on using ribbon. I should just get rid of all of it. I like them, but mine don't always look pretty. I just like these fabric tassels. It's easy, it's quick. Fabric is a better bang for my buck. I always shop the remnants when I'm at Hobby Lobby. I always go by, and that's what most of these are remnants. If they're not remnants, then they're bandanas. And I figured out why I really like the bandanas. Oh, fart. One, they're cheap. They're 99 cents for a 22 by 22 piece. And the bandanas are double-sided, so they're not this white wrong side of the fabric. The bandanas have the same print on both sides. Benita says, will the Ranger heat tool work with that torch paste? It doesn't get hot enough, although I could smell burning pine when I was using it on this cutting board, but this cutting board is also pretty soft wood, but I think you have to have I think it has to get up to, is it 1,000? There's some parameters on the torch paste, and I don't think the heat tools have the same wattage or the temperature needed for torch paste. But we could give it a whirl on some scrap wood. Of course, my torch paste might be a little old. I don't think this fabric tears. I think it's a lot like denim and it won't tear. I could be wrong. Oh no. Fart again. No, it does. I won't use very much. Okay. I haven't used torch paste probably since Christmas. Mine might be too old. Okay. So I'm just going to put this over the handle. my finger down there. And then I'm going to cut some of these so they're not so long. You could always borrow. I've got one you could borrow, but you may have to go buy a heat gun. But we'll test. I'll test it and we'll see. But I don't think so because I know it has. There's some parameters to heat torch paste. Now people have used legit heat presses with torch paste, but if you have like the Cricut Easy Press, especially if you have the original OG Cricut Easy Press like I do, it doesn't get up to temp like the newer versions do. But you could use, like if you have like a clamshell or a swing away heat press, that does work with torch paste. It gets hot enough. Okay, let's cut those in half. Torch paste. Oh, Jason, he looked it up for you. He said the torch paste website. Torch paste website said you need a heat gun of at least 1,000 watts with a temperature of 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I don't think the heat tool gets up to that, but we'll still try it. Yeah, because I don't think this says it's 500 watts. This little guy. Okay, so I'm just going to see. This is why I like bandanas, because it doesn't matter which way you put your fabric. The front side is always going to face up. So I'm just randomly putting these down. Oh, look, I'm coming up on an hour. I just can't. Probably because I lollygag a little too much. Okay. Let's do this one. There. I'm going to do that one there. Okay. So much string. Jason says, Menards trip. She says, oh my, that's really hot. No wonder it says to use in a well-ventilated room. It does. And if you've watched some of my, I don't know if I was actually live when I set the fire, set our smoke detector off upstairs. I was downstairs using it, and there was so much smoke that the smoke detector upstairs went off. It went through the vents and went through and caught the smoke detector. And it will produce a lot of smoke and fumes. I would suggest doing it out in the garage with the garage door open. I don't, but I would suggest it. Jason says I wasn't live, but it was terrifying for a moment. It was terrifying for a moment because, especially since it was upstairs and we were all downstairs. But I like to live dangerously, so there's that. And I probably made this too full, but they get a little carried away. Just kind of have to play with it, tame it down, and it'll lay flat eventually. I have to cut off any of these long ones. So there you go. There's our cute little. I might be the only one that likes these, but that's okay. No worries for me. Dang it up. Lost my mouse again. It's the trash cans here to catch it. I need to leave it up here, I guess, so I don't knock it down on the end of the trash can. Benita says not too full. She likes it, and she also said, "Holy moly!" when I almost caught the house on fire. And Jason says, "Too cute." Thank you. So here it is, close and personal. Super cute. Oops. Well, there's the tassel. And I still need to clean up the farmer's tan a little bit, but I'll work on that. Good sanding will help. I do need a corded mouse, so at least he'd be dangling there and he wouldn't end up in the trash. But I don't think there's a corded mouse that reaches that far because my computer is way over there. I need to figure out how to, put something on my keyboard tray that keeps it from falling off to the side. So we'll figure that out. Trying to think. If you are local to me, mark your calendars for 2 events on October 5th. Raised Rustic is having a customer appreciation event and a ladies' night out. It'll be kind of an after hours thing in the evening on October 5th. I won't be at that, but I will be at Rolling Hills Zoo for their sip and sell. So we'll be out there. So mark your calendars. You can probably do both if you are up for a fun little road trip. You'll go through Ellsworth, swing through by there for their customer appreciation day and or their ladies' night out, and then on the way back, stop by the zoo and hit up Sip and Sell. So yeah, super fun. And if you happen to go to Oklahoma City, let's go back up here. If you happen to be in Oklahoma City on October 18th through the 20th, there's it's in the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds. There's 4 buildings full of vendors. I've seen pics. I've heard lots of things about it. It's called an Affair of the Heart. Super huge, like vintage market on steroids, basically. So I gotta plug my friend Kim. So with that, let's go back at the bottom. I'm gonna hop off for the evening. I will be live again on Friday. So if you're hanging out on Friday with nothing to do, come hang out with me. Whoops, I gotta take that. Let's take that comment off. Sorry. Technology. Try to be all fancy and it just sometimes it's too much. Okay, with that, have a great evening. I will see you on Friday. And thanks for hanging out with me this evening. Love you.